All right, it's looking like we got an update in this Tory Lanez stabbing situation. Now, if y'all seen my last video on Tory Lanez, it was breaking news that Tory Lanez was actually stabbed in prison by a fellow inmate. Mind you, he's serving 10 years over the Megan Thee Stallion situation. Now, we have an update on that. I'm going to need y'all to drop a like on this. For me, your boy G back with another banger. Let's get into this. Now, we got an update from Hot 97 saying Tory Lanez's team provides an update after he was stabbed 14 times. Yes, at first we were hearing a little bit that maybe it was 10 times, but it was actually 14 times. All right, let's get into this. In an update has been provided to the fans after rapper Tory Lanez was stabbed 14 times while in prison. A post made to Tory's Instagram account reads, Tory was stabbed 14 times, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. The post continued, he is now breathing on his own. Despite being in a lot of pain, he is talking normally, in good spirits, and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. He also wants to thank everyone for their continued prayers and support. Now, when I'm hearing that, I gotta say, prayers out to Tory Lanez, prayers out to his family, prayers out over this whole situation. Because being stabbed 14 times gotta be insane. It gotta be extremely excruciating and in a lot of pain. Now, it was also reported over the last few days, Tory sent a couple disingenuous things out about the West Coast while he was in a West Coast jail. All right. Now this happens right afterwards. You could put 2 and 2 together. We're hearing on the street level it's already being claimed by certain gangs over on the West Coast. So it sounds like he kind of spoke on the West Coast and things happened after that. None of this is confirmed. I'm just saying you could put 2 and 2 together. Now, with him being stabbed 14 times, 7 to his back, 4 to his torso. The 4 to his torso ended up collapsing both of his lungs, twice to the back of his head, and once to his face. So it sounds like maybe he got a buck 50. He got slashed in his face. It's the lung situation that all of his fans are probably wanting to know about. But that's the least of his worries. You want Tory to pull through this and get healthy. I got some pictures I'm gonna put up right here. Tory's been working out a lot. He's also made a couple jail calls saying how he's been catching fades. He was sounding like Aaron the plumber. He wasn't ducking no fades. Every fade that came his way, he was actually looking forward to the fades. When I heard him on the jail calls talking like that, I was like, all right, you're not in PC, you're in GP, you're in general population. And I'm not sure if he's necessarily protected in there or just chilling. Because most artists, when they go to jail, they just want to be protected, chill, get back home to their money. Once I hear you in there getting active, I'm like, all right, now this could end up going a different way, because when you're in there getting active, sometimes some guys just want to make a name for themselves, especially on the West Coast. It seems like gangs on the West Coast are more inclined to make a name off of somebody who is more popular. You get what I'm saying? Like, look at a lot of our artists that have gone to the West Coast and actually ended up being unalive. Now, he's actually in a special situation because he's actually in prison on the West Coast, and he's making disparaging comments about the West Coast while being in a West Coast prison. This is the part where I think he kind of underestimated where he at. It ain't how much money you have or all those type things. Sometimes it can just come down to where you at. As an artist, I think Tory Lanez is a great artist. Shout out to everybody who is a fan of Tory Lanez. And if you're not a fan of Tory Lanez, you might be a big fan of Megan Thee Stallion, saying they're rooting for the other side, which there's nothing wrong with, because in the court, he was actually found guilty for the things that happened to Megan Thee Stallion. But with Tory Lanez being, for me, the greatest rapper from Canada at this point, with everything that came out with Drake, with all the ghostwriters and stealing all the songs. In my opinion, it is unquestionable. Tory Lanez is the greatest rapper from Canada ever. The greatest artist, I would say, can go to maybe somebody different. Maybe you give it to The Weeknd. But the greatest rapper from Canada is actually locked up right now. I think he has like another 7 years to go behind bars. And now it's to the point where we're not even sure if he's going to be able to make it home. And if he does make it home, he may never ever be able to sing or rap the same way that he used to. If you know somebody with lung problems, with two collapsed lungs, they tend to breathe a little bit different, and their lungs are, they can go back to being great, but from what I understand, a lot of them are never really the same with two collapsed lungs. So prayers up to Tory Lanez. Let this be a lesson, y'all. Stay out the streets. Stay out of prison. Get you a legal business. Find something to do. Watch out and keep yourself out of certain situations, because you can have a guy like Tory Lanez, who I just said is unquestionably the greatest rapper ever, to come out of Canada. With Drake, with all his allegations, Tory on the other side is actually known for writing for everybody. And he's known for being a great lyricist, and known for making dope songs, and known for touching different genres and being able to do different things. But now you can have all that talent and it's locked behind bars. And now he's getting into situations where he's stabbed 14 times, which is very unfortunate. And the two collapsed lungs can be a very serious thing. Now, he was placed on a breathing apparatus, and now they're saying he's actually breathing by himself. And he just wants the fans to know that he's super thankful, and he's thanking God that he's actually here. He's still breathing, and he can actually just wake up and see another day. All right. So it's your boy, What's Up G. If you don't take nothing from this, stay out the street, stay out of prison. It's a million ways to get this money. And when you feel like you're getting caught up in certain situations, it's all right to walk away. It's all right to walk away. You shouldn't be getting caught up with anything wild with a female in 2025, with all the information that's out there and everything that's known. Once again, he was convicted for the Megan Thee Stallion shooting. That's what put him here. He got a 10-year sentence, and he was locked up on the West Coast. He made some comments about the West Coast over the last week that I thought was kind of wild. And from what I understand, there's gangs on the West Coast that are claiming this from those comments. All right. So it's your boy, What's Up G. Don't forget to drop a like on this. I'm going to stay up to date on this. If ain't nobody told you they love y'all, I love y'all. I'm out, y'all.